The slap echoed through our dining room so loudly that even the neighbor's dog started barking. My husband looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Now maybe you'll finally learn to stay quiet." What he didn't know was that one phone call would expose the biggest lie our entire marriage had been built on. My name is Olivia Bennett. I'm 35 years old, and until that night, I believed enduring pain was the price of keeping my family together. I couldn't have been more wrong. When I met Ethan 12 years earlier, he was charming, ambitious, and funny. He made me feel safe. Or at least, that's what I thought. We married after 2 years of dating, bought a comfortable home, and had a beautiful daughter named Sophie. From the outside, we looked like the perfect family. Behind closed doors, everything slowly changed. It never started with violence. It started with control. Why do you need your own bank account? Why are you calling your friends so much? You don't need to visit your father every weekend. Little by little, my world became smaller. I convinced myself every marriage had difficult seasons. Then Dad moved overseas after accepting a long-term consulting position. Before leaving, he hugged me tightly. "If you ever truly need me, you call. No questions." I smiled. "I'll be fine." I wasn't. After Dad left, Ethan became even more controlling. He checked my phone, questioned every purchase, criticized everything I did. If dinner was late, he complained. If the house wasn't spotless, he found a reason to yell. But I stayed. Not for him. For Sophie. She was only 7. I wanted her to grow up with both parents. One evening Ethan announced that his parents would be joining us for dinner. His mother had never liked me. According to her, I wasn't successful enough for her son. I spent the entire afternoon cooking. When everyone finally sat down, Ethan's mother tasted the food and sighed dramatically. "I've had better." Ethan laughed. "I told you she still can't cook." I smiled politely. Inside, I was breaking. Halfway through dinner, Sophie proudly handed me a drawing she'd made at school. It showed the 3 of us holding hands. Across the top she'd written, "My happy family." I almost cried. Ethan glanced at it, then tossed it onto the table. "You wasted class time drawing this?" Sophie's smile disappeared. "It's for Mommy." He frowned. "You should focus on real schoolwork." She quietly lowered her head. Something inside me cracked. After his parents left, I confronted him. "She worked hard on that drawing. It mattered to her." He shrugged. "She'll get over it." "No. You embarrassed her." His expression changed instantly. "Don't tell me how to parent. I'm asking you to be kinder." He stepped closer. I said enough. I refused to back down. So did I. Without warning, his hand struck my face. The room went completely silent. Sophie screamed, "Daddy!" I stumbled backward, my cheek burning. Ethan looked shocked by what he'd done. For a second, I thought he might apologize. Instead, he pointed toward the hallway. "You made me do that." Those 6 words hurt more than the slap itself. I grabbed Sophie and locked us inside her bedroom. She wrapped her little arms around me. "Mom, are you okay?" I held her tightly. "I am now." That night, after Ethan fell asleep on the couch, I quietly packed a small overnight bag. Not to run forever. Just to think. As I zipped the bag closed, Sophie looked up at me. "Can we see Grandpa?" I froze. My father. I hadn't told him how bad things had become. I wanted to protect him from worrying. Now, I realized I had really been protecting Ethan. For the first time in years, I opened my phone, scrolled to Dad's name, and pressed call. He answered on the first ring. His voice immediately changed. "Olivia." What's wrong? I couldn't stop crying. Dad. I need you. There was a long silence. Then he quietly asked only one question. Did he hurt you? I closed my eyes. Yes. His next words sent chills through me. Stay exactly where you are. I'm coming home. I barely slept that night. Every sound in the house made me flinch. At sunrise, Ethan acted as if nothing had happened. He poured himself coffee and looked at the bruise on my cheek. You should put makeup on before people see that. I stared at him in disbelief. You're worried about what people will think. I'm worried about this family. No, I said quietly. You're worried about yourself. Before he could answer, the front doorbell rang. Ethan frowned. We're not expecting anyone. He opened the door. Standing outside was my father. His silver hair was shorter than I remembered, but the look in his eyes hadn't changed. He walked straight past Ethan without saying a word. When he saw my face, he gently touched my bruised cheek. His hands trembled. He did this? I nodded. For a moment, Dad simply closed his eyes. Then he hugged Sophie. You and Mommy are coming with me. Ethan stepped between us. You don't get to walk into my house and make demands. Dad looked at him calmly. No. I came here to give my daughter a choice she should have had all along. I took Sophie's hand. I'm leaving. Ethan laughed. With what money? You don't even have your own savings anymore. He was right about one thing. Years earlier, I'd trusted him enough to combine our finances. I thought that made us partners. Instead, it made me dependent. Dad reached into his jacket pocket and handed me a small envelope. I hoped you'd never need this. Inside was a bank card. Along with a note. Joint emergency account. Balance, $480,000. I stared at him. What is this? The account I opened the day you got married. I promised myself I'd never interfere unless you asked for help. Tears filled my eyes. You've been protecting me all this time? I've been waiting for you to let me. Ethan's confident smile disappeared. But that wasn't the biggest surprise. As we walked toward the door, a courier arrived carrying a certified envelope. Ethan Collins? He signed for it without thinking. Seconds later, his face turned pale. What is it? I asked. He didn't answer. His company had placed him on immediate administrative leave after an internal audit uncovered expense reports submitted under his name that investigators believed had been falsified. The audit had begun weeks before. His problems had nothing to do with me. He had created them himself. He looked at my father. You did this. Dad shook his head. I've never spoken to your employer. The truth doesn't need my help. Over the next few weeks, I filed for divorce and requested a protective order. My attorney also helped me document years of financial control and the assault. Sophie's drawing, the photographs of my injury, and Ethan's text messages apologizing for losing control all became part of the record. Then came the family court hearing. Ethan arrived with his mother. She glared at me. You've destroyed my son's life. Before I could answer, the judge reviewed the evidence. He looked directly at Ethan. Do you deny striking your wife? Ethan lowered his head. No. The courtroom became completely silent. His own attorney closed his eyes. There was nothing left to argue. The judge approved our divorce, granted me primary custody of Sophie, and ordered supervised visitation until Ethan completed counseling and met the court's requirements. Outside the courthouse, Ethan finally approached me. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I believed he meant it. But regret doesn't erase harm. I hope you become the father Sophie deserves someday, I said. But you won't be my husband again. Months later, Sophie and I moved into a small home near my father's. It wasn't a mansion. It didn't need to be. For the first time in years, our home was filled with laughter instead of fear. One afternoon, Sophie handed me another drawing. Just like the one she'd made before. Only this time, it showed 3 people. Me. Her. Grandpa. Across the top she had written, "My safe family." I cried the moment I saw it. People sometimes ask if Ethan regretted slapping me. I'm sure he did. But not because my father was powerful or wealthy. He regretted it because that single moment ended the control he had built over our lives. The truth is, my father didn't destroy my marriage. My husband's own choices did. My father simply reminded me of something I'd forgotten. Real love never asks you to stay where you're afraid. The day I made that phone call, I didn't just find my father. I found the courage to finally save myself and my daughter.